What's up, y'all? Welcome into the room. Listen, come on, share this. Let me know you're in the room. Lee, what's up? We back like a bad habit. Let's go. Mommy, what's up? What's up? Pie, what's up? Listen, come on, welcome into the room. Hi, mommy. How are you? Listen, we're getting ready to get started. Do me a favor, share this. Let everybody know we're live. We're back on. Come on, come on. Welcome back, y'all. Listen, it's been a long time coming, but we know a change is going to come. We're back. We're back. We're back. Coffee and Conversations. It's been over a year since we've done one. And so we are back at it. We're back at it. Um, I did not realize. I didn't realize that it was that long. It's been like a year since we have done a Coffee and Conversations, and did not realize that it had been that long. So we're excited about it. Do me a favor. I want to make sure everybody who is on can be on. Can we share this? Can you all share this on your social media? We're getting ready to get started. We're getting ready to get started. I had to readjust and make some adjustments.
Oh, Lord. Hey, y'all.
She's got a special guest with her on the side.
I do have a special guest. It's been a long day, y'all. I'm sorry. I look like I look. It's giving what it's giving. And y'all gonna have to bear with us. All right, praise God. Hey, everyone.
What's good with your people? So listen, we wanted to come back. Minister Nikki, Minister Nico, grateful everybody who's logging on. Listen, just wanted to jump on real quick, and we are relaunching, we're revamping, we're coming back. Coffee and Conversations once a month. We did go into this once a month. We couldn't commit to every Thursday. Life got back to being busy, but we wanted to get back on here and just give an update about what has happened. Wow. And kind of thinking about everything that's transpired over this last year, everything that has gone on, all the stuff we have experienced. This year has been a lot, right?
This year has been a whole lot.
Oh, it's been a lot, right? Oh, you talking to?
Life is lifing.
You gonna show them?
Life is lifing. I'm in a minute. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, okay. So we wanted to talk about what's happened over this year, what has been going on, what have we experienced, and while we're talking about all of what's going on and what's transpired, and how can we continue to be an encouragement to each other in this process. So I had all these great grand ideas, right? I had all of these wonderful thoughts and all of these wonderful aspects I wanted to talk about tonight. But can we get started? Can we? I just want to get started. First of all, welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I didn't tell her this, but on my timeline today, we started this. Our first Coffee and Conversation was 2 years ago, April the 30th, two years ago. And so we're on the week of our anniversary. I didn't even realize it, but we out here now. We out here now. We out here now. And so one of the things I want to kind of talk about tonight is how have you all adjusted to pandemic living? How have you adjusted to pandemic living now that the world has reopened back up? COVID is still real, and we have now readjusted to pandemic living, and
It's almost post-pandemic living. We kind of getting back to life as normal. And please excuse the background noise. We have real life happening here, on scene live. We have our almost 3-year-old that's downstairs giving them what they get, what they get. So yeah, it's almost post-pandemic living. Like we've returned. Some of us are choosing to not do face mask, and a lot of us are back in the office. With this time last year, we were still working remote, and so yeah. How y'all hanging in there? What's going on?
My mother said, Aubrey, go see what's wrong with your brother, please. Tell him come here. Oh, he's on his way here anyway. This is post-pandemic living. This is August. Come here, August. Okay, they couldn't. August. Sorry. Come on. So this is what it's like post-pandemic. What's wrong?
Look, say hello.
Say hello.
Say hi to
Say
her.
hi.
What's wrong?
So we had to adjust. Life is full of adjustments. You want to say hi to people? You don't want to say hi to people? Who did it? She did it? Yeah. Okay. She did it. So we got a lot of little visitors today. We have a lot of little visitors today. It is a lot going on in our house.
It's a lot happening here.
For us to get back to doing coffee and conversation. So listen, we wanted to talk about what was going on with your life. We were talking about. You want some water? Yeah. Okay. Aubrey, can you get your brother some water, please? All right, Aubrey, get some water, okay?
Coffee and water. Coffee conversation.
And we don't even have no coffee. First of all, this is ghetto. We don't even have no coffee. You hungry? Okay, this is ghetto. We don't even have no coffee. We don't have no coffee. Conversation is not hitting like we wanted to hit. But guess what? We out here now.
This is life for you.
We out here now. So look, where's Logan? Aubrey, where's Logan? Go find Logan. See if in the basement, please.
For you, life is lifing over here.
So what we figured out was our kids are disrespectful. They are disrespectful. That's what we figured out during this COVID season. Our kids have no respect for our boundaries. Right, August said it. Nope.
So they say
nope.
Nope.
Nope. Our kids have no respect for our boundaries that we have set, and the more boundary respect, the more they show they don't care about our boundaries. Has anybody ever experienced that? That your children have they don't care nothing about your boundaries. They don't care nothing about your life.
Nothing about it.
No, nothing about it. Okay.
So let me do this while we're waiting. This is the new addition to the family. Say hi, dude. Hi. Not you, dude.
You disrespectful. Oh, you disrespectful.
Say hi, Shake. This is the new addition. Say hello. Look. This is BB's baby. His name is Omari.
August is making. Excuse me.
If you know my life, you know who Omari is. So, yes. Life has changed. Say hi. Say hello. This is Omari Isaiah Hart Jr. So, in the year, I've become somebody's BB. I'm not claiming to be anybody's grandmother. Am I? Are we grand? Are we grandson? This is BB. This is BB's baby. So, while we wrangle the corral at the OK Corral, what's been going on with you guys? Drop in your drop in the comments how this post-pandemic or return to work or
sorry.
All of this. Just tell us how it's going for you.
Sorry, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. had to threaten my kids. Does anybody else have to threaten their children on a regular basis? Because we threaten ours on like a weekly, daily, hour by hour basis. All right, so listen, I do want to talk about that. I want to talk about how you balance this. How are you balancing life, family, ministry, career in this new normal? And if we would kind of be honest, like I have not figured out how to master it. I haven't figured out how to master it. When you got COVID fatigue, you are trying to figure out what this life is going to look like and how you're going to actually function and flow. It has not been like an easy process, right? It hasn't been an easy process. And the reality of it is it's been kind of day by day. It's been day by day. Okay, I'm going to try it today. I'm going to try to do better than I did yesterday. Has anybody kind of experienced that where you're just trying to figure out a balance of how you're doing it? Because here's what I kind of thought, and Kenise, this is why I want to kind of ask questions. We didn't have it all together pre-pandemic. So now adding on COVID and concerned about where your children are going and already concerned about other people, now you're concerned about a virus that's spreading everywhere, and you got all these other variables and going to friends' houses and doing this and doing that. It makes it even more challenging, and all the things that kind of go on your mind, which will leave you in a kind of your mind in kind of an overwhelmed experience. You know what I mean? Hey, Tater, kind of leaves your mind in an overwhelmed place where you are trying to figure it out. Did anybody else kind of figure out? Have you experienced that? Like, what's your take on it?
Trying to figure it out. My one of my hardest challenges, if we're gonna speak honestly, has been trying to reincorporate work life to what had become our norm, which was working from home. Because working from home does not require a commute. It gives you a little flexibility. So on your lunch break, you can kind of take care of some personal things or do what you need to do around the house and clean and wash clothes and do all of the things that you needed to do. But now I am back in the office 5 days a week, which means that laundry looks different, which means that my house looks different and my time looks different. And I'm back to being overwhelmed and exhausted when I have to return from work. Like it's been an adjustment. It has really been an adjustment.
I think what this kind of have done is kind of added another level of stress, right?
I mean, you can consider it that way, or you could present it. I mean, it's a challenge. It can be a challenge.
Downstairs. Yeah, it's another challenge. It's another thing. Another thing. It's another thing.
Added to the laundry list of things that are already taking place in life. So for us specifically, we have work, we have church, we have children that are in sports. We have little children that like to get into things.
We have businesses.
We have a marriage, relationship.
That sometimes falls at the very end of a long list of stuff.
Yep, it's hitting different, y'all. So talk back to us. How are you handling it?
How y'all handling it? How y'all are equating that?
Equating it?
How y'all handling it?
Can I get some scissors?
Can you do what?
We got children that's not used to us doing coffee and conversation in the house anymore. They used to be prepared for this. They used to like respect it. Now they don't care. They don't care nothing about it.
Don't care nothing about it. Y'all real quiet on us. Come on, talk to us. While y'all coming up with ideas and getting your thoughts together, here's what I do realize. My value system changed. What I held at high regard, I don't hold at a high regard anymore. And what I kind of took advantage of, I kind of put more value in. What we took for granted was I would say the everyday avenues and everyday things that we did, we kind of took advantage of that. We kind of took the everyday for granted, and we did not maximize our everyday moments. And now living every day to the fullest extent now, and really embracing what that looks like, embracing what each day is filled with new challenges, new adventures, and new situations. But embracing the day, telling people how you feel. Hey, Reverend Pan, telling people how you feel, telling people what you think, telling people what you're praying for, being able to be vulnerable and have faith at the same time, which is an extension of who we are and who God has called us to be. And being able to be okay with not having it all together. If there was something, one of my takeaways probably is that I had to be okay with not knowing everything, and not being able to answer every question, and not being able to do everything, and not being able to fix it. And so I had to learn how to be okay in the moment. Reverend Gilliam, we already told you we ain't got no coffee. So I don't even know why you would even do something to get around.
And I need coffee because we had a long night last night. I need coffee.
Talk. What's wrong?
So yeah, we don't have no coffee. I need some though. I was actually out last night in the emergency room until from 10:30 last night until 6:30 this morning. Only to get no answers. So y'all pray, y'all keep my family in prayer. But
what do you want me to do? I don't know. I don't have an answer. I'm in the moment. I don't know what you want me to do. Say hi to the people. Say hi. Because
Reverend Penn said, I learned as much as I love and like myself. I don't.
That's not Reverend Penn, that's my mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't read. I thought I saw Gwen. I think she's saying I don't like living by myself. We can fix that for you. We can fix it for you. No need to worry. Ain't no need of worrying what tomorrow's gonna bring. Hey, listen. What time you going to bed? It'll be all over in the morning. I got a couple people I could drop over there. Huh? All right.
So my mother said that she learned that she don't live by herself. I think we realized things that were like, oh, I'm good, and we kind of closed our thought pattern off to it. We realized it ain't all it's cracked up to be. You know what I realized? We have teenagers who want to be grown too soon. And I feel like we have overcompensated in areas that did not need to have overcompensation. Give an example. Where we have felt they may have been lacking in some areas, we gave materials to cover what we felt like it was a lack, right? Mm-hmm. Which I feel like ultimately did more damage than it did good. Because now we have a generation of people who are entitled to stuff and who don't realize the work and effort that went behind to get the stuff they have. That makes sense? That was one of my takeaways. And so I was talking to my friend Bishop Weir, and I told her I think we've overseeded the ground. Because anything that's overseeded cannot produce a harvest. Right? Anything is overseeded. So if you put too many seeds in one place, they don't have a chance to develop roots and grow. Okay. But proper seeding will develop roots and grow. Your grandson pulling your hair, huh? you ain't got no win. You got the Sherman Hemsley thing going on right now. All right, sorry. Reverend McLaughlin said, well, I am blessed. I retired at the beginning of COVID. I have no kids. COVID has brought a new way of living. You guys have full life to see you again. Tap on the best. Set schedule sometime. Doesn't affect your mental health. Love you guys. Oh, thank you. Yes. And so let me give clarity to it. I'm grateful for the life that we have. Very, very grateful. Very, very, very grateful. I just think we are is a constant reinventing and reevaluating and rediscovering to kind of help us discover who we are. Lee, you said that you want some people at your house. We can help you with that. And so in that process, we kind of discovered that we were trying to make good on things we didn't do wrong. And one of the things that I have learned, or we kind of learned together as a couple, is that every offense ain't our responsibility to fix.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Explain. Do tell.
So just because somebody else hurt you, I can't pay for that person's mistakes. And no matter what I give you, it's not going to take away the sting of what somebody else did.
I understand what you're going. Seem like you deep sea diving though.
I mean, does it make sense though?
Yeah, it makes
you
sense.
You say deep sea diving, what does that mean?
I mean, I know because I know our life. I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about this in general. It's not situation specific. It's like, I think that's what we do as humans. Like we will, and especially overcompensate. Right. And it still doesn't, no matter how much you overcompensate for it, it does not negate the fact of what the person's offense is. Mm-hmm. And we kind of live there. Hey, man. And we kind of live there, and we try to fix it. Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't heal that.
So you're saying we have to be less of fixers and more of what?
Less of fixers about things and more of educators.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that we explain, all right, we minister to that part, and we grow from there.
Okay. Hey, Aunt Joyce.
That makes sense? Uh-huh. Because compensating is not fixing the issue.
It's not. It puts it band-aids the issue, and a lot of times we will come up with we'll come up with remedies to band-aid issues instead of getting to the root of what's going on and actually remedying an issue. So instead of providing the help that is needed, we offer things. The help that's needed could be therapy. The help that's needed could be lessons, could be education, could be so many things.
It could be honesty and transparency.
It could be honesty and transparency.
Jazz says she absolutely agrees with us. It could be honesty and transparency. I think so. I this gonna get me in trouble. So I feel like we over-inform, like we try to advance people too soon,
or over-explain,
right? Mm-hmm. To satisfy something we can't fix. Okay. I think as parents, that's what we do, right? So we advance our children. And we have grown people conversation with children. Mm-hmm. Because regardless of how mature you think your child is, they're still a child.
Yep, I agree.
So we allow children to sit in. I remember growing up, and maybe this is just me. My mother didn't allow me to sit around grown people when they were talking. Did your mother let you do it?
No, you had to go. I had said nothing.
Right.
If I was so silent that they probably forgot that I was in the room.
Oh, right.
Because you don't know my life.
Yes,
because I was afraid to talk. You better not say nothing.
And never repeat what you had. But there was a difference. And I feel like we expose children to too much. And then we wonder why they don't have a childhood. Yeah. I grew up, I could not. My mother's on here, and I hope she would type something. So we expose children to too much. to too much conversations, too much information, and we wonder why. Lee said, "Get out and play." Right? That was get out the room.
Yeah.
Grown people talking.
Get out, go play.
Go play.
Key word for get out of here so you get hurt.
Right. And whatever you heard me and we talking about is grown people's conversations. Not to be repeated when you got out, when I hung up the phone and be like, well, who were you talking to? First of all, and I got an opinion about it. And their opinion is based upon their level of understanding. And I feel like if we start to allow children to be children again, where the responsibility of adulting is not placed on children, where the responsibility of understanding is not placed on children, and they have the ability to grow and go and be children and play outside and smile and run around and do chores.
He is really getting with you.
Right. You with me? High five. Good job. He tried. Good job. And so Tara said it yesterday. Exposed to too much. And then we wonder why they are behaving and interacting as if they are adults when they are children. Because we expose them to adult stuff. And we kind of mess them up. And I feel like if I learned anything during the season is to not overexpose them and not try to overcompensate for something I couldn't do. But you inform and you explain to them on their level and allow them to go through what that experience looks like. Facebook user said truth. I don't know who that is, but thank you, Facebook user. And allow them to kind of go through what that looks like, right? But even with that, not allowing, and this is going to be hard for some mothers to hear, not allowing whatever experiences that our children deal with, for us not to own it.
Explain.
We own our children's experiences. Okay, so let me give you an example. We are. I'm sorry, mother.
You're right. Their innocence becomes tainted.
Right. Thank you, Doctor. What is it?
Nope, we're not gonna do that here. That's not the platform.
Dr. Jane. I did it in church. Okay.
Dr. James.
I think your generation was taught open conversation, so it passed to your children. No, we weren't taught that. I'm sorry. I disagree with you there, Ma. You didn't teach us open conversation. That is not what you taught us. That was not the theology of our house.
I think that sometimes, if I'm being honest, I think that because of the strictness of our conversation and the lack of the ability to be transparent and talk by
your teachers. Oh, okay. Oh, because there wasn't.
I think that no. I think no, because I had some Renaissance teachers. My teachers was from the Renaissance area.
Well,
they were
sweetie,
from the Renaissance era.
You are a little. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I digress. You teachers from.
He made me want to say some words.
You're a Christian.
I think that sometimes the lack of being able to vocally express ourselves when I was a kid kind of opened a door of when I grow up, because I remember saying it when I was little, when I grow up and had children of my own, I'm not going to do them like this. Not knowing that some of the ways in which I was being raised were healthy for me. I just think that sometimes the delivery was a little hard.
So the backslap was not necessary, but the stay in your place was necessary.
The stay in your place was necessary, but all the extra stuff that came with it was a little toxic.
So I want to put this out there. Mother Denise, Denise Clark, if you're watching us.
No, don't do that.
You did the best you could.
It wasn't always, but it wasn't always my mother. It was aunts. It was
that was more of a joke.
It was other adults. it's okay, I think, to teach the right way, but sometimes when it came with it came with like all the extra stuff. Right. I remember, and oh God, I might get in trouble for this. I remember one of my cousins who isn't on here. I know she isn't on here, but we were at a family event and something was going on, and she said something. And it was like waka, Beck Smith, and she probably got out of herself a little bit, but I think we're in a more gentle parenting era in this stage.
The offense didn't offer that kind of response. You basically said
it didn't. Okay. But we're in a more gentle parenting stage of how we choose to parent our children, and sometimes it's good because now they can come to us with things that are concerning and we can address them appropriately. But sometimes it's like, hey, you kind of stepping beyond your boundary, and let's check that and get back into where you need to be.
Can I tell you this before we read Sharon's comment? Okay. Let me say this. I don't know. I hope like y'all know my walk with God, how I got saved. Do you know how I got saved?
Yes, I've heard it several times.
So the people who don't know how I got saved, I got saved because I was scared, not of Jesus, of my daddy. And my mother is not going to agree with this. One Sunday morning at the Mount Zion Hill Baptist Church, 4800 block of Harford Road, the Reverend Dr. Clancy, who was the pastor, illustrious church there, still sits on that corner. I was entering into the building of the church, and my father he had the thought I said something. And he had the thought I said something. I was the best child that my parents ever had. And he 2022 would say it was abuse. In the 90s it was discipline. He hit me in my way to church that I said something, and he hit me and it caught my spirit, and there was no permanent damage. I can still see 2020 out of my eyes. I can still see, and I sat in the sanctuary of the church that day, and I said, he told me I was going to get it when I got home. Now, y'all don't laugh too hard at this story. I sat in the back of that church at the 4800 block of Harford Road, and I was rocking back and forth, and the Reverend Dr. Clarence was preaching, and I thought to myself, if I'm going to see Jesus, might as well get saved today. I walked down that aisle. I gave God my heart because I said, hey, when I go home, it's over. So I want to make sure that I am saved before I go home to be with my Father. And so I walked down the aisle of the church. The church got happy. It was clapping, and I started walking down the aisle, and I gave my life to Jesus. And he said, he said, I don't care how much you gave your heart to God. When you get home, and that's the extreme of what we were talking about. But moving on, I digress. So Dr. Shasha said, what she said?
In an effort to be friends with our children, many parents by default relaxed and removed the necessary boundaries that keep children in a child's place. So it went from one extreme to another. I absolutely agree.
Exactly. And this extreme that we are in now is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. There are no boundaries.
I think that from my generation, okay. Two things. I got two thoughts running at the same time. I'm gonna put this one over here. I think that from my generation, the notion of being friends with your child was different. So being friends with your child meant they could say whatever around you. They could do whatever around you. They could cuss around you. They could drink around you. You knew that they were smoking and it wasn't an issue. That was being friends but I think some of the more strict parents took it as, if you express to me your feelings, you think I'm one of your little friends. Now, granted, there's a time and a place for everything, but I don't think that it is absolutely out of order for children to be able to express themselves. So I like to think of it in as being, I am in relationship with my children. We ain't friends. I'm not one of your little friends. But I am in relationship with my children, and we will talk about some things, and we will discuss some things, and we will talk about concerns, and we'll laugh. We will laugh, and we will joke around. But am I going to let you do things that are going to ultimately destroy your future? Absolutely not. Am I going to let you get out of hand and that's going to destroy your future because I'm going to kill you? Absolutely not. Am I going to ignore your behaviors that are toxic or your behaviors that are unhealthy? No, I'm not. In relationship, we are going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about the healthy ways to handle those things. The second thought that I was having, I follow this TikToker because I like TikTok.
You do.
Judge somebody else's mother. Okay.
And y'all teachers.
But I follow this TikToker who always puts these videos, and it's like 80s. Hey, little guy, get my hair back. He puts these videos out, and it's like skits, and it's like 90s, 80s kids, and the 80s kids are like, "Hey, mom, I'm gonna help you with the dishes," and the mother's like, "Oh, I love this child so much. Why couldn't you have made more of this child, God?" And the 90s kids are like walking around with attitudes, and then the 2000s kids are like, "I hate it here. This is affecting me mentally." Anything that the mom says. So it's like three drastic outcomes of these children from different decades. You want to fight? And so I think that's funny because I think it's very relevant that 80s children have a different level of like respect and honor for their parents. 90s kids are like on the cusp of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna respect you, and I'm gonna probably have an attitude while doing it. And these 2000s children, they're a different breed of kids. All the 2000s, whether it be the early 2000s, the 2010s, or these 2020s.
I totally agree with Tata. Hey, Tata, that's my girlfriend. Hey, right. I don't play with my kids. I don't party with them. I'm not their homegirl. I'm not.
I agree.
I tell Kenny Logan, Aubrey, and August all the time. I ain't your friend.
I ain't one of your little friends.
And I'm not your friend. I don't ever try to be. I can be understanding without being your friend. That makes sense? I'm okay with being understanding. I am not okay with being your friend. Because there must be a level of respect that's maintained. And I think what we got it twisted as that the respect the generation before us demanded, we made optional. Tell you why.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Here's me tell you why. You can be communicative without being disrespectful. Right? But we've seen so much of over communication and expression that there's no reverence for the person. That makes sense? Explain it.
No, I'm listening.
No, I'm asking. I feel like you can tell me what's going on with you. You can tell me who you are emotionally. You can tell me who you are mentally. But at the same time, respect who I am as your parent. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times the things that children are telling us that would make us feel like our offense is related to what we have instructed them to do. Mm. Make sense? Pass your mother that, please. The bottle.
Give me the bottle.
You hungry?
You was hungry too, weren't you? I know. Okay, give me a kiss. All right, see you later.
I put that up.
And so I okay.
We're reading Dr. Shasha's comment. I am someone who was intentional to raise my children in a space that welcomed raw and real conversation. Yes. However, they also knew how not to speak to me when expressing themselves. Absolutely. Because they would get jacked up. Yes. Real quick. Today my adult children still know to watch their tone and verbiage.
Watch
because
your tone.
It shall go left real quick. Real quick.
It can go 0 to 100 real quick. And you be thinking like it's Biggie, it was all a dream.
I think that sometimes
that's a healthy level of fear. I think there should be a healthy
there should be a healthy level of fear. Was it respect or fear? There should be a healthy level of fear. However, and I don't think I don't know fear. I don't know if fear is the right word. So
I'm fine with fear.
I think that I'm not. I think that
I'm fine. Fear me. Fear me.
that's a part of the problem.
Ain't
I
my
feel
problem.
that
Aubrey, you choosing violence?
we learned the difference between. We learned what respect was, I think. And so as an adult and as a parent, a lot of times, or as a child, I oftentimes felt like adults wanted my respect when they often disrespected me.
So explain that to me.
What it means is that, hey, don't pull on that like that, Aubrey. Don't pull on it because it's coming out. What it means is that I felt disrespected in that I wasn't heard.
Okay.
When I needed to be heard, not in a disrespectful way, but I needed to be heard. I needed someone to listen to how I felt. I felt like certain words were sometimes used that did not necessarily build me up, but sometimes tore me down.
I can agree with that.
I feel like that's not respect. I think that respect, even with a child, should go two ways. So I do respect my children. I respect them enough to hear them out. I respect them enough to have set good boundaries for them. I respect them enough to teach them the right way and not expect them to know the right way without being informed. I respect them enough to not take a small offense and make it a mountain. Not take a molehill and make it a mountain. I respect them enough to know that they are human beings and they are valuable to God. I respect them enough to know that just like I have feelings and emotions, so do they.
Is that respect or is that understanding?
It's both. It's both. I think that I think also that just like we need to be heard as parents, sometimes they need to be heard too.
So somebody from my admin team said yes. Yes, I agree with that. But there are times when we need to listen to them. That sounds like. Can I just guess what that is? That sounds like Elder Jones.
Is that yeah?
I'm assuming that's Elder Jones.
Honestly,
okay. Yes. Listen to many children.
Listen, too many children are getting away with too many things like.
Oh, put a comma. Listen, breathe. Okay. Too many children are getting away.
Sorry, playing with you.
No, I was trying to. Tara, I'm sorry. I was reading. Okay.
Too many children are getting away with too many things, like they have no discipline and have no consequences. They need structure, absolutely.
And they can catch it. We can't. Tara, you are my cousin.
But sometimes I have to put that in perspective because I know me and I know that I have the ability to go left like you live on the street. I have the ability to go left like I don't even know you. So I have to put catching these hands into perspective and not give you these hands when I'm angry, because if I'm angry and I give you these hands,
you go to jail.
I'm gonna have to keep you home from
You-
school for a
you
little
gon-
while
you gon-
because you're gonna be a little.
You're
messed
going
up.
to jail. So I don't believe that physical punishment is always
Yes,
effective.
that's me.
I just don't believe that physical punishment is the first. That's not how we parent. I don't believe physical. Well, that's just for me. Now, the reason why I say that is because I have girls. I am slim thick. Like I am. That I'm not going to.
You something.
Yeah, I'm not going to physically. Me if I do something to be physically assault. So I'm not. That's not my thing. I can affect you in a different way. Like I can talk to you. I can take something from you. I can remind you that listen, we ain't there. I just don't believe in catching these hands. That's just not where I'm at. To each his own. This is just an open conversation, an open forum of dialogue. So there's no right or wrong answer here.
My kids can still catch my hands. I'm just not going to do it. I like literally for my younger kid, my big kids. I would have to fight them. Not that they would fight back.
They were taller than you.
But
They taller than you.
my younger kids, if I have to physically discipline them, and that means a pop, that don't mean I'm going to get a belt because belts are weapons. If I
You mean to
have
tell me my parents been using weapons against me for all these years?
if I have to physically discipline my children, it's because I feel as if they have done something that is going to cost them their lives. And they need to know that this is not what you want to do.
Pastor Keith, yes.
But not because I'm angry and you have gotten on my last nerve and now you gotta catch these hands or this belt or this frying pan or the extension cord or the shoe. I'm gonna throw my slippers sometimes, but it's whatever.
I think
Dr. Shasha says, "Why are you calling her?"
Because I needed my mother to know that she has physically abused me. I need to go.
Dr. Shasha says, Pastor Kanisha, yes, the adults were disrespectful to us, but expected us to respect them. Yes. Shaking my head. Their tactics were destructive and left us emotionally and mentally thirsting for attention and validation.
Wow.
Which unfortunately for me ended up coming from the wrong persons. They were abusive and dismissive. It's true.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't think, I think I had, and it comes from the kind of, with their experiences, with what they were exposed to. A lot of times we are victims to our own, upraising and uprising. And so sometimes we are mishandled because the people before us was handled. And here's what realistically, I think that can be like a generational curse. That makes sense? I feel like that could be a generational curse for so many people that my parents did it like this, so I'm going to do it like this. My grandparents did it like that. My parents did it like this. And so we keep with that same type of discipline and upbringing that does not allow for us to be healthy and us to grow and to become who God has called us to be. So that's the case. But what I will also say is that as we are understanding more, there are some things that our parents did that kind of helped us. The way of discipline may not have been great, but structure was definitely important. The way they handled us may not have been perfect. And I'm not saying, I think I had amazing parents. But the structure and that implication they gave us that understood that we were to respect who they were and respect their word. And because a lot of times, and I'm going to say this, our children don't understand our no. And our no really don't have to be explained. But in this, growing up, no was no, wasn't it?
It wasn't no. No was, I said no to me, but I just can't get caught.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's what no was.
So if you asked your mother, father, something, and they said no, no was no. Like
no was no.
No,
but I might try to sneak and do it.
From a parent perspective, when your parent said no, there was no explanation for the no. And the reason why I think a lot of times our children have issues with no is because they don't understand the why behind the no. right?
And I don't always think that sometimes it's wrong to give them a why. I don't.
Right.
I think that sometimes they need a why.
But I think sometimes a no just needs a no.
Sometimes a no needs a no, and maybe it's the timing of the,
No was the end of the conversation. No was a sentence. Hi, Ma. She said, Jay, that means she wants me to stop talking about that. No was the end of the conversation.
No was the end of the conversation.
There
However,
was no further explanation.
some of the no's, because it was a no, and it was just like, oh, they just being mean. They don't understand. They just saying no because they don't want me to have fun. But it wasn't like, okay, with this could potentially hurt you.
This could damage your life. And so the reason why we talking about this in the last couple minutes is that we have teenagers who don't understand when we say no. No is not a punishment or an indictment. No can be protection. No can be, I see something that you don't see.
Can we know who the Facebook user is? Because I can't. It's not coming up on
the. Because that's how that Facebook comes up.
Oh, okay.
No was not because you done something wrong. No can be because I'm trying to save you from something I see that you don't see.
Right.
And a lot of times, and when you said sometimes a no need to be explained, even with explanation, they're still not going to agree with the reason why you said no. So the no still is not going to have the effect. Because that's not the end result is not what they desire. And I feel like we have, not saying you or not, but in particular, it's Linda. Linda. I saw your husband today, Linda. But the no needs, the no does not all, excuse.
Oh, he is down there giving them the blues.
This is life. The no should not always be warranted with a discussion. I just don't feel like it. I don't think a no should always be warranted with a discussion. I feel like if I said no, my no was for a reason. And because the lifestyle that you are living is given by the parents you have, there's no need for an explanation behind my no. I said it. That's the end of it.
That's dismissive.
That's not dismissive. That is informative. Okay. What y'all think? Pastor is dismissive.
I think he's dismissive. I think that sometimes, and it's not like everything has to be oh, come on, let's come sit down and talk about the no. But for me, no. That's not right now. Is not the right time for you. And so now I'm trying to look at my parenting in the perspective of God.
Talk about it.
Sometimes God gives us no's, and it's just a no, and that's just what it is. And sometimes it's a clear it's a not right now. It's not a no. It's a not right now. And sometimes God has to show us. This is why it's my no. But if we parent, I think if we parent with the compassion of Christ, some of these issues where it's like, where we kind of pass along the traits of our ancestors and, our parents, if we parent with the compassion of Christ and not the fear of God that was taught to us that in some forms was inaccurate, I think that our parenting could stand, some improvement. Say what I said. Hey, Cousin Maddie.
You saying that the parent could...
I know. I feel like I do need to go get him because they doing something to him.
We're getting ready to end.
He's sleepy.
So, I'm grateful that you all came on. Thank you for your time. Thank you all for your comments. It has been a wonderful... I mean, let's talk about it. This is just the starting of something. We wanted to just get back into the groove of it. Next month, we're going to talk about something else. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there. who are raising their children, who are wonderful, the godmothers, mothers, aunties who have stepped up. Happy Mother's Day to all of you all. And so, anything else you got? What's your final statement that you want to give?
My final statement is this. Parent your children with the compassion of Christ.
So since you said that, Christ discipline, God will discipline you. And sometimes his no never gives an answer.
Explain. Tell me about Christ's discipline, the discipline of Christ.
Let me give you a whole theological explanation. When God says not to do something, right, and you do it anyway, and you have the consequences to the actions, discipline.
Okay. So discipline and consequences are
that's the consequence. The consequence is what happens when I said no and you did it anyway. Now, do we always pay for every mistake that we make? No. But we have consequences to the actions that we do, correct? Now, does God have compassion? Does God have compassion on us? Absolutely.
We are providing childhoods that they don't have to heal from. That's my point, Tara. We should be providing our children childhoods that they don't have to heal from. That's my point. I don't want my children to have to heal. And I mean, granted, I've been parenting for a long time, for 24 years. I should be ready to retire.
You want to have another baby.
I'm not. And I have made my fair share of mistakes. And so there are some things that my children will have to heal from. But when you know better, you do better. And I don't want my children to have to go through therapy because of things that I have put on them. And, at this point, that baby got his own mother.
Who, by our surprise, showed up today.
She's downstairs. His
mom is here, and they showed up a day early.
Yeah. We're preparing for Kennedy's prom. So, it's a lot happening here.
All right. So, Tara, I agree with you. We're trying to give them child they don't have to heal from. Absolutely. I don't think I had to heal from my childhood. I don't think I had that. My childhood wasn't bad that I had to heal from it. I don't think it was bad. I think my parents did a wonderful job of doing it. And as the responsibility of our generation who is coming behind them is to learn from the mistakes that our parents made and do better without losing the foundation of who we are. And that being said, we're getting ready to sign off. You might as well stay right there where you at. Keep it right there, right there. That's what Luther said. Have a wonderful week. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there.
Mother's Day is this week.
Next week.
Mother's Day is next week?
No, Mother's Day. And if you aren't texting me what you want, you ain't going to get nothing. Enjoy your Mother's Day. To all the fathers who playing mothers, happy Mother's Day to you all too, because women do it to us all the time on Father's Day. They be like, to all the mothers who playing father, playing both roles, to all the players who doing both of them, keep your head up, champ. God gonna send your wife who's gonna help you with your children. Good night. Reverend Penn been quiet all this time. Good night. I ain't even used to it. See you later. We'll see you in the morning. Prayer tomorrow morning. And so we will have you log on. Hope you were blessed tonight. We're going to do it once a month. Love y'all.